Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Newhart with Science Based Body, and this is the Economic Fitness Podcast channel. On this channel, we are going to provide you with ways to keep your body and mind in top peak physical condition in an environment of sedentary work environments. It is our perspective that blood flow is equal to cash flow, and if you cut off the blood flow, you cut off the cash flow. We hope you enjoy our information. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Economic Fitness channel. My name is Dr. Stephen Newhart. We have a great guest with us today. She has a great backstory. She's part of an organization that cares for animals, which I love because I do have 2 dogs myself. And then a few life habits that probably helped her get to this point, and then maybe what she's looking at doing in the future as far as exercise goes to just enhance things, right? So I would like to introduce Maria Kogel. Thank you for joining us today. If you wouldn't mind, tell me the name of your organization. Tell everybody the name of your organization and then what you guys do.
So I work with Don't Forget to Feed Me Pet Food Bank. It's the only pet food bank in North Texas. Okay. And so the difference between banks and pantries is what I first like to specify. A bank collects food and distributes it to pantries. Pantries give it to individuals. So we collect the food, we store it, and then repackage it so it's in a manageable size, and then give it to pantries. So when people go to pick up people food, they can get pet food as well. Wow.
Now, okay. So does this cost people, or is there a cost to it for us, or is it complimentary for the animals? How does this work?
Yeah, the individuals, there's usually not a cost. I don't think any of our distribution partners have any cost associated. They use their own requirements. Some of them have zip code restrictions and such, but none of our current partners charge anything at all.
Okay. You guys are located in Fort Worth. Are you everywhere?
We're just in the greater Fort Worth area right now. We would love to expand, but we want to make sure we're doing that correctly and we don't leave anything out.
So are you an animal lover?
Yes, of course.
I was like, let's see what kind of answer.
Oh, yes. My mom tells stories of me sleeping in the doghouse when I was little.
I would probably have done the same. I would have done the same thing.
I love them.
So how many animals do you have?
Currently, I have 3.
Okay.
And 1 human child. So
that was just a husband?
Yes.
Or
no. No.
My wife might be like, yeah, there's this guy.
Yeah, right. No. And my daughter calls them her sister and brother, so
excellent.
She loves them.
So what led you to this point? I mean, what's your background like? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So at the risk of getting too sad, violent, I don't know, whatever, right? I was raised in an alcoholic abusive home. And so I bring that up a lot when I discuss things with people because I think it's important to understand that when you come from a background where you've struggled and seen people struggle, you're more, in my opinion, apt to see and recognize that and want to help it because you would have wanted somebody to do that for you, right?
Of course.
So I got a degree in behavior analysis and I have been heavily involved in volunteering forever. I mean, as far as I can remember. So I've been volunteering with the food bank since over a decade ago when I was in college and found out about their organization, and it just really spoke to me because when you're struggling, when you're in those kind of points, if you have nobody else, you could have your pet, right? And they're never going to judge you, and they're always there for you. They won't leave you.
Yeah.
So that always really spoke to me. And I volunteered with other organizations, but clearly a decade later, here I am, finally working at the place that I put my heart into for so long.
That's wonderful, actually. I mean, it's so wonderful. You hate to hear about bad path. I mean, we don't wish that upon anybody, obviously. But then also, I love highlighting these things and talking to people that have experienced, because there's got to be some sort of not even coping. There's got to be a success mechanism that you implement when you're experiencing all this tragedy in order to get you to the point where now you're here, you're a professional, you're sitting in front of me, you're a business professional, you work for a great organization. Because the idea that I have, especially for this channel, for this show, is to get hope out there to people who want to break free, who want to have something to manage these issues and then get back to business, back to a functional lifestyle where you're helping the greater good, helping society, producing money for yourself and your family and things like that. So it's always important. I love hearing these stories. You were an athlete at some point from what we talked about before, correct?
Yeah, I did soccer for many years, and then I had a goal of running a half marathon, that got interrupted. But I did run for a long time, and it was very good mentally, mostly. But of course, that has broader ramifications on your whole life.
What's the furthest you ever completed?
11 miles.
So mine was 7. So you
Yeah.
you
Oh
beat
my
me.
God. It was so silly. Me and my best friend trained for a long time, and we were so close, right, to go in to run it. And it just life happened, and I'm like, will I ever get back to that? You think, God, it seems so unobtainable now, right? But it's really not.
Well, it's just, I don't know. And then some of us, we're all about, and so it's not like I was all about, I played football.
Yeah.
So we were just about moving mass amount of weight. I think I was talking to your friend Amanda the other day where she was saying, yeah, it's, I like the idea of a marathon. I like the idea of distance, but I also like the idea of moving 225 pounds once and maybe getting the same satisfaction of completion as I might get from the run. So I don't know. I've always been in that mindset. My wife, she was a soccer and cross country, so we decided to do a half. Not a half. Not a half. I am not. It was not a half. It was a 10K. So that's where the 6, and we completed 7 during training, just to be a little bit over what it would have taken to get to complete.
Totally.
But that was the farthest this body ever wanted to go.
Oh my gosh, you're funny.
I know,
I've never done weights, and I think it's just a mental game, whatever's best for you. And it just was. It always felt like I could turn my mind off and just keep going, and you didn't really have to think about it too much, and it helped you not feel as tired because your brain was just somewhere else, and I'd get done and go, oh, how far was that? And my watch would be like, hey, you did it,
My body is one of those where it knows how long.
You're like, I know for sure.
It's been 3 miles. Oh my
funny.
gosh, but some of us are made for certain things. And that's another thing I like to encourage people for. Just because you are not good at marathons does not mean you can't exercise, because maybe your body likes strength.
Oh, for sure.
So let's do that instead, right? So there's always something for it. Maybe it's whole body vibration, which is another interesting thing that I'm working with. And so, there's just a lot there. But I believe, from what I hear, you've always kept on the straight and narrow. You've kept the track, and it's mainly due to probably exercise being implemented throughout your life. And now you're here. You came across my path for a reason, and we'll get you going here at our fitness center, and we'll take care of you and take care of you for the next 10 years of your life, of course, because that's what we do here as well. So, but just the common theme. I love the business you're doing. I love that. I love taking care of animals. We always have to. We were at the park the other day, and there was somebody dropped off 6. It's like a park with a pond. They dropped off 6 ducklings, right? So my wife calls animal control to come get them, but she was over there the whole time. I'm on the playground with my son, and she's over there taking care of these ducklings, because she's like, my heart, it's just like it feels for these ducks. And so, we were doing that. But I just love the organization. It's great.
Well, they're just so innocent. I mean, animals, for the most part, can't feed themselves, when they're so domesticated. So it's our responsibility to help them out. And I mean, just to drive the point home, recently I was at an apartment complex that lost water for over a month after the snowstorm. And as I arrived, we saw some dogs running down the street. And when we got to the apartment complex, I found out that someone had just released those dogs because they could no longer afford to feed them, because they had been hit so dramatically by this crisis, right? Yeah. And I'm like, that is exactly what my job is. Like, if I could have just been here, 5 minutes sooner, or we could have got our message out and they would have known, we can help you feed that pet. It was like the craziest moment of, oh, this is us. This is the niche we're supposed to fill, right? And because people I don't know what happened to them. It's very sad. I know I didn't actually meet the person who released the dogs. I met their neighbor. And so I gave them information, of course, and said, if they can just call me, we will get them hooked up. Like, surely the pets will come home. We looked for them for about an hour, but usually they come home. So I'm hoping they got home and the person reached out, and was like, okay, moment of crisis, I made a brash decision. Now I'll get some help. But I think, how sad is it that they didn't know that resource was out there? We're just here. We can only do so much. We have to try to spread the word so people don't do that. And I think a lot of times those situations aren't at the forefront of people's minds because they're financially stable, or they don't go through that crisis, and they think, how could you not feed your dog, or how could you just let him go? Well, when crisis arises and it's, do or die, you have to make really tough decisions. And we want to prevent that and hope for sure keep them off the streets, but also help keep shelters not full to their capacity, because then that's no good for anyone either.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it happens a lot.
I will do my best to spread the word about your business. If you ever want to put anything up here regarding it, we can always do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we do.
Accepted.
We like to put information out. And,
Totally.
we could even get it on, our TV. Usually it's
Oh, yeah.
scrolling there. We could put a little slide
sure.
on there and get it out so that we can let some people see. But, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's an amazing one. I loved interviewing your friend Amanda and yourself. You guys are both great people. So, just let me know where I can help in the future. And, we appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Oh, you bet. Thank you all for tuning in and listening, and we'll catch you next time.